I now give the floor to the Earl of Dartmouth on behalf of the EFD Group.
Για 2,5 λεπτά.
2.5 minutes, sir.
Mr. President, you said you seem to have changed in the last second. There's a rather famous book called Alice in Wonderland, and this book has a sequel, slightly less well known, Alice Through the Looking Glass. And in that book there's a passage where the Red Queen tells Alice the rule is jam yesterday and jam tomorrow, but never jam today. And Alice answered, but it must happen sometimes that there is jam today. To which the Red Queen said, and here I paraphrase, no, there is never jam today. Well, that's rather like the EU Trade Commissioner and the successive Doha rounds. We never do get the jam today. And there is at least one reason for this. The Parliament's own library briefing states that the focus of the Doha round was to be on development. Now, for most developing countries, the critical aspect of the Doha round is agriculture. Around 3/4 of the population of most developing countries reside in rural areas, and in consequence a majority depend on the agricultural sector. Now, the European Union's Common Agricultural Policy, or the CAP, is equivalent to about $80 billion a year, and this huge subsidy is a distorting factor in world food markets. It erodes the fair operation of the market in food, generates export dumping, and damages the ability of farmers in the developing world to earn a living. And here I think that some colleagues who don't agree with me about everything will agree with this. And I must further point out that a disproportionate amount of the CAP goes on subsidising the growing of sugar beet. And this crop grown in the developed world can never be fully competitive without subsidy with sugar cane. It is the continuance of the CAP in its present form which sabotages a proper result from the Doha round. What then are the prospects for meaningful reform? And the answer is there are too many politicians here in the European Parliament who oppose the reform of the CAP. It is just not going to happen. No meaningful reform of the CAP means no meaningful outcome to the Doha rounds.